Here we're asked to solve by using the quadratic formula, but even if we weren't told to use the quadratic formula, for this example it would turn out to be our only option. So supposing that maybe we weren't told to use the quadratic formula, we could think about isolating first. We might subtract the 6x in the hopes that we wouldn't have the x term anymore once we do that, but we're going to have a 7x if we try and subtract. So we still have an x term, and we've got the x squared term. We know that we can't solve by isolating if we have x in more than one place. So we'd move on then to try to factor. So we would need everything on one side, 0 on the other. So we'd have to take away 13x. We'd have to take away 5. So trying to factor here, there are no numbers that will multiply to give us minus 6 and add up to minus 7. So we find that we have to use quadratic formula not just because the question told us to, but because that's the only thing that's going to work out. So the quadratic formula tells us that if we've got an equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, that the solutions will be x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac and the whole thing over 2a. So our b value is negative 7, so negative b would be negative 7 plus or minus the square root of b squared, that would be negative 7 squared, minus 4 times our a is 3 and our c is minus 2, all over 2a, so that would be 2 times 3. Let's do a little bit of arithmetic to clean up here. Negative 7 is 7. The square root of it's negative 7 squared is 49. Now if we have minus 4 times 3, that's minus 12, times minus 2, that's plus 24, and 2 times 3 is 6. Underneath the square root we could still do a little bit more simplifying. 49 plus 24 is 73. At this point, there's not much we can do, at least not without a calculator. The square root of 73 is not a nice number. And rather than write down that crazy messy decimal, let's just type everything in at once. So we're going to have to type it through once using the plus and once using the minus. So 7 plus the square root of 73 in my calculator. Press equals and divide that by 6. That's telling me that one of the values, one of the solutions, is x equals about 2.59, and 7 take away square root of 73 in my calculator, hit equals, divide by 6, gives me approximately negative 0.26. So there are my two solutions.